Yo, what's going on, guys? Ololan Dolan here, and I am back with another video. Two pieces of content in a row. Yeah, we're on a roll. Pokemon Day is almost over. It's 11 o'clock at night. I just got back from work, and I had a lot of cool ideas and good Twitter interaction. Funny enough, to about the trailer. So I'm gonna go through like a little bit of we're gonna try and break down the trailer and go through some of the ideas that I thought of, and some of the interactions I took a look at. So let's go through the trailer and we're gonna go and see what I was doing on. So I saw the Game Freak logo. If you didn't see the stream, so I was like, okay, Game Freak, it's a game, and then we see this, and I'm like, okay, so I'll let it play. All right, so one thing I didn't even think about is I'm gonna go to a different tab. We see like Gyarados in the water swimming around. I don't really know if Lumio City had water. Did it have water in it? Like some canals, perhaps? Here's a decent picture. Shout out Pinterest and Sakura Fields for this. But if I zoom in, I don't. Oh, this is some water here, but like I don't remember there being any kind of canals or anything. Like, these are all buildings. Um, Again, more and more buildings. Is there water in here? I think there is a bridge above some water. Um, I don't fully remember because this just shows the Pokemon Center. Yeah, there's this bridge. It's like there's like it's like a canal, I think, down one of uh the avenues. Let me see. Um, yeah, so there is. Okay, there is. I was like, wait a minute. It's very strange. I think these are more buildings. So I think it's this, maybe? Or that could just be one of the avenues, but I did not remember if there was water in there or not. But anywho. So it looks like it's going to be majorly expanded upon, because I think it's just like a little canal. So this one I was like, wait, we're in Lumios. And then they show that, and it's the Lumios city, and then it cuts the urban redevelopment plan, it cuts to the logo. Now, as we all can see, it is. I just started over, but we'll get back to it. It's a Legends game. Now we've only had one Legends game to go off of, which was Legends Arceus, which took place in the Hisui region, which was around. I've been looking it up to see how long. I think they said it would have taken place in an era of Japan in like the mid 1860, like 1868, around that time. So like 1500 years into the, or like 200 years. They're talking about like not that one, but so about 200, 150 is what they said, not 100, 1500, 150, 200 years ago, which would make sense because this is very primitive technology and whatnot. But there's a lot of lore with Callos and Pokemon Z, and of course it's like ZA, which like AZ, the character from 3,000 years ago. And that's the thing. There was a Pokemon War in Kalos that took place 3,000 years ago due to the AZ Flowette. This is a lot. Can I get a TLDR? Yeah, it says an unnamed empire that ruled over the continent that Kalos and Galar were a part of collapsed due to unknown reasons, things like that. As a result of firing, yeah, it was. Yeah, AZ's Flood died in that war because he was the old king, and then he used the weapon to bring it back. But of course, AZ's Floette knew what happened, and And Yuzi buried the ultimate. Who is Yuzi? I don't even know who that is. I don't think I've ever seen Yuzi before in my life. There's AZ, yeah, but apparently he's a brother that no one really knows about. Okay, whatever. So, so I didn't go through it much to see like the Pokemon in it. So we may have see some interesting mons. Of course, Pikachu's confirmed, of course. Um, Pikachu. They got Pyroar. Um, in Litleos. Then you go through, you have Flabebe, Klefki. What is the name of this dog? I forgot it. Furfru, there we go. It came back to me. These are, I think, that looks like a Spearow, and maybe that's a Fletchinder. Got Dragonair in the water. They're trying to catch it. Hawlucha right there. Gyarados. We have. I'm trying to see what this is. That's a Fletchling. What the heck is that thing? It is. Oh, it's a hippopotas. Hippopotas. Okay. And we have, is that an Absol running around in that bottom right corner? Um, maybe. Yeah, it looks like it. You got another Frou here. The Sandile line. We have an Aegislash and a Sylveon doing it out. And of course, we got Onyx, Scyther, Pinsir. Um, yeah, just the usual Pokemon. A lot of Callos Pokemon, obviously. Um, And one of the things, like going back to what we were talking about, Hisui, Legends is usually like an old school game, but this doesn't look like ancient Kalos. This looks like a modernized version of it. And my friend Keith had the distinction that Legends may not just mean in the past, even though if we go to Google and look up the word legend, a traditional story sometimes popularly regarded as historical but not unauthenticated. So can legends be from like the future or present? Legend definition: a non-historical or unverifiable story handed down by tradition. So it's usually associated with tradition and passing it down through generations. So it's interesting because, like I said, this doesn't look like an old version of Kalos. This looks like modern day Kalos with maybe even some. Let me see. Let me go back to a Lumio City map. The area in front of could be no, don't dox me. Because you can see these plazas look much more developed than these smaller ones. You have the river going through. Um and you have like these are the main building, like these are like unenterable buildings. And people were talking about how, because I think it does say in the description. Yeah, a new adventure awaits within Lumio City, where an urban redevelopment plan is on to shape the city into a place that belongs to both people and Pokemon. Um, so you're gonna see my reasons as to why I think it could be the past or why I think it could be the future. After looking at that, and looking at the trailer, I'm leaning more towards the future, or at least present day, wherever it took place in X and Y. Even though my reason for it being in present day may not be accurate. Like I said, we got very little information on here. Um, and we're going to be on the screen for a bit. So let's go over. So, um, we have this is one I saw. It says, seeing lots of people mistakenly think it's from the future. This future view is of what Kalos already looks like in X and Y. It's a blueprint of what exists today. In short, we'll be going to the past, building Lumios into what it is today, which is possible. But it says, so it's definitely after the war that probably destroyed most of Lumios and we're rebuilding it. But, like, my thing is, the war was 3,000 years ago. I highly doubt blueprints of this magnitude were being drawn up that long ago. Unless Kalos, and we go to Kalos and think it's not like crazily technologically advanced. It's kind of just, if we go to the region itself, you don't see anything that would jump out to you as like extremely technologically innovative. It's actually rather, it's not like Johto levels of traditional, but Lumio City is like the only modern city. Silage City is nestled in a mountain, same as Ambret Town. Geosinge is extremely traditional, being surrounded by ruins. Shadow City is kind of modern, but then you have the Tower of Mastery, which looks like a much older building. But like I said, we're going to stay mostly in Lumios. So I'm just going off in general. Like this, you can see the region itself is not very technologically advanced, including even the Pokemon League is a castle. It's definitely more traditional. So like I said, looking at the modern day architecture of Kalos, it's hard to believe that they're going to um draw this all up. Now you got like the anime exclusives one, which is but you see a lot of castles, um just nothing crazy. You have Dahara City, which is huge looking, skyscrapers and whatnot. Um then you have Seaside City with a large castle. You have all these old esque buildings. Orsay City is a modern city. Um, but yeah, a lot of traditional old style architecture. So one of my things is maybe it's an alternate timeline. So in the X and Y story, the main bad guy, Lysander, um, runs Team Flare, and his goal is to use the ultimate weapon that AZ used to end the war to extinguish all life other than Team Flare and Pokemon, because he believes Pokemon are being taken advantage of by the trainers, and they're just beautiful creatures that deserve to live and frolic and whatnot. Um, Knowing that using that weapon may injure the Pokemon, but I don't think he realizes that. But that's his goal. So one of the things I said is maybe it's an alternate timeline where Lysander achieved his plan and reset the world, and we have to defeat him and rebuild so we can live alongside Pokemon again. Because his main goal was to have humans and Pokemon be separate. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm not spreading misinformation. I know that is very common on the internet. Um, if I can just who plans to exterminate the human race in order to recreate the world. That is his goal. Um, he speaks pointedly on creating a world of greater beauty, and he dedicates himself to achieving it. He just wants a beautiful world meant for the chosen ones, aka Team Flare. Um, yeah, they Oh, look at that. Yeah. So yeah, he wanted to just have a world where the Pokemon could be free. So one of my things is if we have this modern climate, obviously if the weapon can wipe out all life, I don't know. First off, I don't know how Team Flare would live. I don't know if they're just safe somehow, but whatever kind of plot armor they have. And I see the politics trending. That's just great. Can we? I don't care. Uh, so yeah, it could be a modern take where we fight off against Lysander, or it's like because I know Legends Arceus, they kind of just take you and throw you into the world. There's a bit of tutorial in the beginning, but then you're free to pretty much roam around. And the first area, not the Crimson Mirelands. What's the first area called? It's um, I don't remember what it's called. It is the it's Obsidian Fieldlands. There we go. It's that first one. It kind of just throw you can roam it. It goes up quite far, and you can run into like the Alpha Rapidash and Snorlax, Alakazam, and they'll mess you up. So that wouldn't be too much of a departure from the actual Legends formula itself. So I think that would be really interesting. Then there's a few ones I did earlier from the past. I saw this one um, of the Pokedex entry from Zygarde because it's ZA, which by the way, I think someone said in French it's ZA is like Zeta, which honestly that's a cool name, and I'm probably gonna start calling it that. Pokemon Legends Zeta. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a ROM hack. Uh, when the Callos region's ecosystem falls into disarray, it appears and reveals its secret power, which, if you don't know about Zygarde, it has its 10% form, its 50% form, and then its complete form. And then there's a few, and it says there, it has like all the cores that are scattered that form to create its whole body. Hypothesize that it's monitoring those who destroy the ecosystem from deep within the cave it lives. Um, Very unmerciful. Half the pieces assembled. In Zygarde's complete form, all times when it uses own but express those who endanger the ecosystem. So I don't really know what's going to happen. And then my head can I kind of yeah, I'm laughing at the. By the way, everyone was screaming about Legends Celebi and Black and White remakes. I love Black and White. My favorite generation, but this is much better because I mentioned earlier in another tweet that XY were the only games not to get their sequels. Gen 1 had Yellow, Gen 2 had Crystal, Gen 3 had Emerald, Gen 4 had Platinum, Gen 5 had Black and White 2, Gen 6 got skipped over, Gen 7 had Ultra Sun and Moon, and now 8 and 9, they don't have sequel games, but they have DLC packs that add more content there. So let Gen 6 get their love. So what this is one of the ones I said is maybe it's what's being shown as the present. I assume blueprints. Yeah. And it says it could take place after the war and we work alongside Zygarde to rebuild the region, starting at its central point, Lumios. And since the ultimate was just using to go out into the dangerous wilderness to survey and gather supplies for rebuild, which I don't think makes sense, especially since they said the game is going to take place only in Lumios. And there was a lot of people who were worried about that. But if they want to up the scale, because this isn't a 3DS, and say what you want about the Switch, but it is more, um, it's more powerful than a 3DS. Um, it could definitely make a scale. Oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, I remember that. It was funny. Good bait. Um, yeah, it's could be. What was the topic I was talking about? I don't know. I lost in thought thanks to that tweet. Um, exactly. And like another thing I can mention is not necessarily. I mean, Oka could make Gen 5. Now, I know people hate the Gen 4 remakes. They say it's the worst remake. Objectively, it probably is because the remakes in the past have been great. Ilka may not have made a perfect remake, but what they did with those battles, Gen 4, they overhauled the gyms in Elite 4 and made them powerful. And as I was saying to my friends, Gen 5 already has strong gym leaders and what, in my opinion, is the hardest Elite 4. So if you give Ilka that ammunition, they could make the battles in that game very intense. I would not be mad if they made a black and white remake. And they don't have to stick to the chibi stuff. They could, I'm pretty sure Ilka isn't a one trick pony. They can probably do more. Um, it's just nukes and stuff. Um, yeah. Oh, that was another thing. Megas are coming back. It's pretty exciting. What's this? Yeah, there's that one from earlier. Is there anything? Yeah, I don't think it is either. Yeah, another thing, very traditional looking logo. I think it's gonna be. And speaking of both, there was something I liked. If I go to my profile, go to likes, we might have to fish through some randomness. What if Z refers to the past and Ace to the future? Travel between the past and present when building. I don't know how that would really work. Um, yeah, just more people laughing at that gum. Just laughing at people. So that might be about wrapped up for this video. I'm gonna see if there's anything else I could find. about this is mainly all those trends are kind of gone. About now it's down to like basketball and whatnot. I will check one last time if there's anything. No, this is just the Pokemon Presents. Let me go back to the Legends. Can I do like Z? Are people really doing spelling it like that? Um, yeah, nothing really crazy. That's gonna be another video, by the way, that me and my friends do, because it was Wolf Glick, I believe, who tweeted something that I don't even follow Wolf. I like Wolf Glick. A new Legends game means new starters. They probably want the starters to Mega Evolve. Charizard and Blaziken already have Megas. Typhlosion was the starter in the last game. None of the Legends Arceus starters are Gen 4. He's like, there's a chance we get Mega Incineroar. So that's gonna be another video me and my friends do. We're gonna be speculating and trying to predict what the starters will be because if they do want Megas, it's gonna be that. So I'll do a quick scroll through see if there's anything else interesting at all. Um, yeah, that's the website. The website's updated with the new logo, but nothing else. Um, yeah, it's looking like that's about it. I don't mind the idea of the gimmick of going between the past and the future, but like I said, we have very little information about what's going on, and yeah, um, yeah, 1850s to 70s, which is around the Hisui time. So only time will tell to see what happens, because very modern looking Lumios doesn't really make sense if the thing takes place during the war. So I don't think it's gonna be that far back. I think we're just gonna get like yeah, entirely within Lumios. They could do something there. So yeah. Anywho, that's gonna be about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you then. If you liked the video, maybe you want to subscribe, help the channel grow a bit. I'm gonna try and do more things about Pokemon this year, more things to talk about with this game and others in general. But until then, I hope you take care. See you in the next one.